tell us a little bit about yourself. How did this all come to be for you?
Well, I've been doing photography for a long time. I'm 35 now, and I started when I was 18. I went to art school. I was a painting major, and I took one photo class, a black and white class, and was totally sold on photography and switched my majors, switched everything I was doing, and just went full bore into that. And that was back on the East Coast in Baltimore, Maryland. And I wrapped up college and was totally sick of living in a city and totally sick of living on the East Coast. So I put everything in my truck and I drove to Lake Tahoe, and I figured I would take a winter and check it out and see what happens.
Everybody says that.
Yes.
Take one winter here in Lake Tahoe.
So here we are 13 years later.
But you could not have picked a more amazing place to settle yourself, and I mean everywhere you look there's beauty.
Yeah, it's being based here is incredible. I mean, we basically live in a developed national park. It's kind of the way I look at it.
That's a great description.
And then just within Tahoe and the basin, there's so many beautiful things to shoot, whether it's adventure or landscapes. And
which one do you like the best?
You know, it's a blend of the two, probably, because typically, like, if I'm out on an adventure, then I'm going to be in an amazing landscape. So, you know, they kind of go hand in hand, I think.
What do you find is the hardest thing about capturing, you know, something beautiful? Is it light? Is that the most important piece of it, or?
A lot of times it could be getting there.
That's, yeah, well, how was getting there? Where are you here?
Oh, this is in the Yukon territory up in Canada. This was, we shot this a couple years ago. I actually shot this with a friend of mine, Trevor Clark. He's based up in the North Shore. And this was a collaborative project we did documenting mountain biking up in the Yukon. So there was a big there still is, development of trails and everything up there, and we were sent up to make a video piece on it, and it was absolutely stunning.
So you're into video as well? You're kind of doing
video as well.
Is that thanks to these amazing cameras that we have these days?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of insane. Like in the last, 5 years, what we're able to do now with just our smaller kits versus having to have a whole Hollywood production.
Right.
So we can go up to the Yukon and, just the two of us and take a really small kit and make, a really high production value piece.
And you've been featured in some of the greatest magazines and on some of the ESPN, and I mean,
yep,
just go ahead and brag a little bit. Yeah. Where's your stuff?
Yeah, I've been published a lot, National Geographic, ESPN, worked with the Travel Channel, Microsoft, a lot of bigwigs in the industry.
And now Tahoe Today.
And Tahoe Today. But,
thank you.
Well, come on. I love Tahoe.
And you are working locally. You hang out with some of the local businesses as well.
I do. Well, because I don't like to travel all the time. I live here for a reason, and it's I do a ton of work for Vail Resorts, which is Kirkwood, Heavenly, North Star, shoot all of their ad campaigns.
Right.
And, Tahoe South, I do a lot of work for the Board of Tourism here.
Great.
So yeah, anytime I can be home working is awesome.
All right, so what's your next project? What's coming up for you?
Tomorrow I am shooting, it's actually really cool, I'm shooting a project for Lufthansa Airlines for their in-flight magazine. We're going out of Homewood, and I'm documenting these personal submarines that Deep Flight, a company called Deep Flight,
interesting,
is launching out of there. So that's going to be a total water shoot tomorrow, underwater with water housing and taking dives in the sub, and yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
And like I said, I looked on your website and found some amazing photographs. Can people purchase them?
They can, yeah. It's what they need to do is send me an email. I have a lot of work out there on the website, on social, like on Instagram, Facebook. And the best way to get a hold of me is just to send an email to info@rachidphoto.com.
Okay.
And we'll take care of you.
Excellent. We'll be safe tomorrow. Have so much fun.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to see the work.
Thank you very much.
All right. So stick with us, though, because we're now going to check in. Have you heard about this? It's Vision. What's it called? Vision Quest? Primal Quest.
Primal Quest.
This is some great photography. But Danny's over there right now to check in with us and tell us a little bit more about Primal Quest.